Dylan and Bai Lu's drama cancelled after scandal. It all started like a dream. Wang and Bai Lu, the hottest pairing of the season, signed on to star in what fans were already calling the next big romantic masterpiece. The teaser posters were breathtaking. The chemistry in their first interviews was off the charts. The production team boasted a star-studded lineup. And the audience? They were waiting, counting the days, clipping the photos, writing fanfiction before the first episode was even filmed. But then something shifted. At first, it was small. Rumors of delays. Unconfirmed stories of script rewrites. One moment, Bai Lu was seen arriving on set early with her coffee in hand, greeting everyone with that smile. The next, she was nowhere to be found. Crew members whispered,
Was she sick?
was she just tired? Or was something more happening behind the scenes? The turning point came during a closed-door rehearsal. It was supposed to be an intense romantic scene, the kind that sells shows and melts hearts. But when the cameras were off and the doors were closed, voices rose. Someone outside the room heard shouting. Two voices. One male, one female. Then silence. When Dylan walked out, his face was unreadable. And when Bai Lu followed, her eyes were red. Not a word was spoken. But everything had changed. What really happened in that room? Some say Dylan accused Bai Lu of changing her lines. Others say she questioned his professionalism. But the truth, as always, was more complicated. Because wrapped inside their fight was something deeper than acting. Jealousy. Just days before, Bai Lu had been spotted having dinner with a producer from another drama, a drama Dylan was once rumored to lead. Dylan, who had kept his feelings quiet for months, reportedly snapped. The tension that had been building between them, both romantic and professional, finally exploded. Their manager tried to smooth things over. The director called for a week-long break. The PR team went into overdrive to handle the rumors. But it was too late. Because fans noticed something. Dylan unfollowed Bai Lu on social media. Her team released a vague statement about creative differences. And then, silence. For a whole week, the production paused. Paparazzi swarmed the gates of the studio. One blurry photo showed Bai Lu leaving in tears. Another caught Dylan driving away alone in the middle of the night. Fans were heartbroken, confused, furious. And then the announcement dropped. Production was officially cancelled. The project that was supposed to redefine romance dramas in 2025 was scrapped. No reshoots. No new leads. Just gone. That's when the real theories began. Some claimed Dylan walked away because he could not work with someone he once trusted. Others believed Bai Lu had been blindsided by betrayal. But a few, those who knew them both, whispered a darker version. What if they had been more than co-stars? What if something personal had bloomed during early rehearsals, only to crash in front of the cameras? What if what the world saw as fiction was once, very briefly, painfully real? In the weeks that followed, Dylan kept his distance from the media. He traveled abroad, posted cryptic photos from mountaintops. Alone, Bai Lu returned to work, eventually. But her smile was different. Colder, quieter. She no longer took fan questions about Dylan. And every time his name was mentioned, her eyes dropped. Just slightly. Behind closed doors, industry insiders say the fallout from this drama changed both their careers. Dylan turned down 2 major roles. Bai Lu was removed from several endorsements. Was it the scandal? Was it heartbreak? Was it both? Only they know what truly happened between them. Only they know how close they came to greatness, and how quickly it all fell apart. And maybe, just maybe, that canceled drama was never meant to air. Because the real drama, the one we will never fully understand, already played out behind the scenes. And now, all we are left with is silence. And 100 questions no one will ever answer. Clapperboard. The news had faded from the front pages. The hashtags were no longer trending. And fans slowly stopped asking what went wrong between Wang and Bai Lu. But behind the silence, something else had begun to grow. Rumors. And not just fan rumors, but quiet whispers from within the industry. A stylist who worked with Bai Lu posted a cryptic message. People think they know the truth. They don't. Not even close. A lighting technician on set gave an anonymous interview. He said the day before the canceled shoot, he had overheard a heated phone call. Bai Lu's voice was breaking. And she had said one thing that stuck with him. "I can't pretend anymore." Not when he acts like it never meant anything. Fans speculated that maybe it was not just a professional fallout. Maybe there was a hidden love story behind it all. Maybe, just maybe, the on-screen tension wasn't acting. Maybe it was pain. Because something strange happened days after the production ended. A fan captured a video in a quiet neighborhood in Seoul. A black car pulled up to a small cafe. Dylan stepped out, hoodie up, head low. And just moments later, Bai Lu arrived in a separate car. They sat inside for 45 minutes. No smiles. No hugs. Just serious, almost distant conversation. The video blew up. Millions of views in hours. But neither of them confirmed or denied anything. Then came the real shock. A production assistant leaked part of a script. A script that was never supposed to be seen. The final episode scene between their characters. It was not just romantic. It was heartbreakingly personal. Lines that felt like confessions. Words like, "You made me believe we had forever." And, "I wish I could forget you, but I never will." The fans went wild. Had they written those lines? Did they rewrite the ending to reflect their own story? Producers refused to comment. But the leak was enough to push the narrative back into the spotlight. People began rewatching their earlier dramas, looking for clues, searching for stolen glances and emotional moments that might have been real. A makeup artist from a previous shoot posted a throwback photo. Bai Lu and Dylan, offset, laughing uncontrollably over something unseen. And in the corner of the picture, their hands were touching. Not holding, just touching. A tiny moment, but one that fans clung to like gold. Then Dylan released a video. It was not an apology, not a confession, just a personal vlog about time, healing, and losing people who once meant everything. And in the middle of it, he paused and said, "Some chapters never get closure. Some stories just stop." The internet exploded again. Was that his way of talking about Bai Lu? Was it an answer, or just more questions? Bai Lu stayed quiet. Until one interview, months later. The host asked her about the canceled drama. Her eyes stayed still. And all she said was, "It was beautiful while it lasted. But some things are not meant to be shared." After that, she left the country for 2 months. A creative retreat, her agency claimed. But the fans knew better. The drama may have ended. The show may have been canceled. But the emotions? They were very real. Too real. To this day, no one has confirmed the full story. Not Dylan. Not Bai Lu. Not even the director, who fought to keep the show alive. But some believe the cancellation was never about contracts. Never about disagreements. It was about heartbreak. And the impossibility of pretending on screen when your off-screen heart is shattered. They came close to magic. Closer than most ever do. But sometimes, the fire that burns brightest burns out the fastest. And in the ashes, all that's left is memory. And 2 names that fans will never forget. Dylan and Bai Lu. The couple that never was. Or maybe the couple that almost was. They tried to move on. New roles were offered. New contracts signed. But every time Dylan appeared in front of a camera, people noticed it. The sparkle in his eyes was different. It wasn't the same Dylan who used to light up entire stages. It was someone changed. And Bai Lu? She avoided interviews altogether. No live streams. No press tours. Just silence. Until one fan noticed something strange. In a behind-the-scenes video from her new project, she was seen holding a small silver chain. Not just any chain. It was identical to the one Dylan wore during their previous drama. The fan compared the footage. Frame by frame. Same design. Same length. Same pattern. Could it be that she kept something of his? Or was it hers that he had copied? Then the rumors took a new turn. A blogger claimed they saw Bai Lu's manager at a high-end restaurant, dining with the same director who canceled the drama. The post went viral. Why now? Why meet in secret? Insiders whispered that negotiations were happening again. Not for the same show, but for something new. Something that would reunite them. But here's the twist. Dylan was hesitant. After everything that had happened, he wasn't sure he could step back on screen with Bai Lu. Not because of anger, but because the feelings were still there. Too raw, too deep. He spoke to his team. He delayed decisions. And he did something no one expected. He booked a flight to Thailand. And guess who was already there? Bai Lu. Coincidence? Some fans think not. A tourist shared photos online. Two people on a quiet beach, backs turned to the camera. One wearing a hat, the other in a flowing white dress. You couldn't see their faces, but the internet believed it was them. The hashtags returned. Hashtag Dylan and Bai Lu. Hashtag what really happened. Hashtag secret reunion. But again, there was no confirmation. Only silence. Only speculation. Until a mysterious post appeared on Dylan's private social account. A photo of a sunrise. No caption. But if you looked closely at the reflection in his sunglasses, there was a second person standing beside him. It wasn't clear, but the posture, the hair, it matched Bai Lu. Fans were convinced. Then came the biggest shock of all. An unreleased trailer from the cancelled drama surfaced, leaked by someone deep within the production. And in that trailer, there was a scene no one had ever seen before. It was not in the official footage. Not in any promotional clips. Just the two of them on a rooftop at night. Talking. Crying. And then embracing. The kind of embrace that doesn't come from acting. It came from pain. From memories. From something unresolved. The scene was too real. Too personal. The internet exploded. Again. Producers scrambled to take it down, but it was too late. It had been saved, reposted, and shared everywhere. And suddenly,